Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ATLP podcast. My name is Anele Kwela, and today I have the most amazing privilege, and it is an incredible honor to be able to interview Umpati Wetu, my mentor, an incredible leader, and a great guy with a great mind. Help me welcome and give a warm welcome to Utaganipo Hatere. Welcome. How does it feel to be on the other side?
It's funny. It's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah,
we are here today.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
100%.
So Opuntlaga, as if you don't know, he is always our host. So today we decided to switch things up. So I'm going to be the host, and then he's going to be our guest for today.
Mm-hmm.
So now Opuntlaga, first things first. Why did you start the All Things Leadership podcast? Yes.
That's a powerful question.
Yes.
It's because I believe that we can create a platform where we can add value to the people on the other side of the screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I believe we can add value to the people who are on the other side of the screen. There are a lot of content creators out there, and you find a lot of them are about entertainment and news and something that doesn't add value, real value into uplifting abantu in society. So I'm a curious guy. I'm always curious about learning different things about different arts and so on and forth like that. And I had this idea of why not start a podcast? Why not create a space where we can actually empower people, not just the people that I know, but even the people that I don't see who are on the other side of the screen. So we started.
Yeah. Great. And I mean, there's so much more to Untlagani Bohade that runs the podcast and that has a curious mind and a brilliant mind. Can you please just tell us and walk us through the journey of you actually starting to learn English at the age of 22, and you still to this day speak Zunglish Sako.
Yeah.
So can you just please help us walk through that journey? Because how has it been? I mean, now you are one person that speaks to a whole lot of people, businessmen, like entrepreneurs, and here you are. You can be able to speak English now. So how has that journey been for you?
Hey, to be exposed to English.
Yes, it's English.
I think it's a very interesting journey because the English I knew was my mother is cooking in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. You know, the one that we wrote a high school and stuff like that, and I couldn't hold a conversation in English. If you would speak to me in English, I would just be quiet. I wouldn't respond at all. I remember this other guy was communicating to me in English, and he is black.
Yeah.
I just said nothing. I had a lot to express.
Yeah.
And me the majority language that has been dominant in my life hasn't been really Zulu. It's been slang, because the time and the era that I grew up in, I got exposed a lot to people who had been in prison, to a lot of gangsters, So you kind of pick up the language, the street lingo. Even the older people speak it. They don't even want to be called mama. It's like oleti, iprazo, zamasha, zashaisa. All those things, they formed part of my language, and that was the normal in my world. And because I'm curious, I got an opportunity to be part of a Destiny Leadership Academy.
Shout out to Destiny Leadership Academy.
It was really cool to be part of Destiny Leadership Academy. And I think the funniest thing is that it was the first time seeing white people who can't speak English.
Sure.
There were people who were coming from the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, they speak Dutch, and there are people who are coming from Germany. And there was actually this guy who used to say, you understand why did you cause the accident? He just say, you understand. Every word that he said, he just says, you understand. But anyways, there was this friend of mine who went to a good school, a Maritzburg College. He has passion for teaching. And Mina, I'm very curious about learning new words. I remember the first word he said, he was like, a pinnacle. I was like, pinnacle, what's that? And then he broke down what is a pinnacle. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Then he'll discover a different word and then he'll make it up, you know. And then I like imitating people, you know. I can quickly pick up from the way that you speak, with what type of school you went to. So I like imitating, you know, like you can speak like a college boy, like a proper college boy. Hey, but hey, how's it say? Yeah, life is like eh? Yeah, bro. You know, and but I like imitating people. And even if I'm bad, I would be wrong to the extreme. So I like doing it proper. If I miss it, I miss it proper.
Sure.
You know, even if I say superficialistic, exploitatious, even if I don't understand the word, I'm gonna say it confidently. And at 22, I got exposed to speak English. No, never been perfect in speaking it, but one art I've learned is to learn the accent of different people. And I learned, Uguti, even people judge you based on the type of English that you speak.
That's so true. That is really
you know, there was a time when, hey guys, you know, you can go to a Makaya school and to the township school, and you know the workplace can judge you based on your English, no matter how eloquent you are and knowledgeable you are in your accent. You know, people would pick people who went to different schools. The other time I was looking for pellets. I don't know if I've told you the story. Now, I was looking for pellets. We were going to do an event at church, and I was asked to go and look for pellets. I went to different factories, and the security guard would stop me. I was so frustrated because I'd be like, hey, hello, Baba. My surname is Uhadebe, and I'd like to speak to the boss. And the security guard would just shut me down. I went to different factories. So I was just like, okay, let me put on my college accent or my faked college accents. And I went to this factory. I just looked for someone who was having lunch. Not the security guard, and then I asked them who the boss is, right? And they told me that the name of the boss is Jared, and so I pretended as if I'm the person who knows who Jared is.
Oh my goodness.
So as I came to the gate, I switched from my slang / Zulu accent. I just said, hello, Mnumzan. Can I please come to the reception because I need to speak to Mr. Jared? And they happily opened the gates.
The same person?
Yeah, they happily opened the gates. So then I get to reception, and there's a certain chest out type of situation, posture that you need to walk.
Yes.
So as I walked into the reception, I saw the lady there, and at the reception, I said, hello, ma'am. How's that? I'm Chaga from a church, and I'd like to speak to Jared, please. And this lady was like, oh, yeah, sure, mister. And you know, she looked very, you know, then they went and looked for Jared. And this gentleman, fortunately, he was kind, to be honest. And as I came, I looked around the factory. I was like, hey, I haven't been here in a while, eh?
Wow.
I haven't been in a while here, and I'd like to just look around what you guys are doing, and you know, it's really cool what you guys are doing. Show me around, please, bro. And this guy confidently showed me around, and I said, can I please ask for some pallets? We need to use them for the church, right? And kindly, he was very kind. He said, oh yeah, for sure. And I said, thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. Then as I walked out, my English data went.
Depleted.
It was gone. I was like, oh, of course,
Just in time.
Yeah, but
in
it's
time.
just a little bit sad that
Yeah.
people will judge you based on the
Yes.
accent that you present yourself, And that was one story actually. Yeah.
But that's really good for you to share, because that's just the sad reality of what happens in South Africa. And I don't think in South Africa, I think just in the whole country in general, and the whole world in general, I've seen and I've experienced people will be like, which school do you go to? Which school do you go to? I'm like, Haythorn. Like, you don't sound like a Haythorn girl. I'm like, guys, I don't know where I got it from. But it's a sad reality, because especially us, Abomdaki, we should be like in Boomba and accept each other just the way we are. And I know for a fact that's not the only challenge that you faced growing up. I mean, your dad was brutally murdered when you were very young. So can you just please tell us more about that and expand on it, man? Because I'm sure it wasn't easy growing up without a father figure in just this world, and Ekasi as well. So can you just please expand on that?
Okay. My dad was in and out of our lives, but he came back, I think, like 2 years before he passed away. I was probably like, he came back when I was 14, found a job in Richards Bay, and when I was 15, I was doing grade 10. It was, we were at school, and we were called to the principal's office. So this is the difference. If my sister is called to the principal's office, she's done well. If I'm called to the principal's office, so I was wondering what I've done on that day, Anyways, so as we arrived, they told us that we need to quickly rush home because there's a family emergency. We're just like confused. We're just kids. We go home. When you arrive home, mom is crying and she's back from work. We're just like kind of confused, and people are removing our sofa, and it was like, oh my gosh, okay, what's happened? Dad died. So how it happened was with him. In Richards Bay, there was I don't know if it's a township. There's a place called Enquiry, and there's a hostel, and in next to the hostel, that's where he was staying, and there's some sort of a forest in order for you to get to the road. Apparently, there were people who were killing people who were going across the forest.
Sure.
Yeah. So when the neighbors felt the stench, they called the cops, and my father's body was on top of many bodies. Sure. I think his body was like number 10, and the other bodies were unrecognizable. Fortunately for him, he had his work clocking card. So they could identify. Otherwise, we would have thought that he's gone with another girl, and also because my family was very traditional at the time as well. He couldn't enter his home without and now the responsibility lies on the older son, because this man doesn't have brothers anymore, and I don't have uncles at all, and now I'm the oldest male who is a teenager at home, and now his body says like 12 bullets, and now I have to usher out the ceremony, and so my dad got brutally murdered. I didn't think it was gonna affect me. I didn't think much of it, because you do what you gotta do. But I guess God was curating his own story in building the man that I am today, in terms of trying to think ahead, trying to provide as much as I can. Because I remember those times I used to bengihamba ngoqhuba ibhala to go buy beer for a tavern owner who's gonna give me u-2 randi for ukuthi ngithenge utamatisi ekhaya. You know those guys that you come across elokishini abaqhuba amatroli. I was that guy, you know, so that we could have iklabishi or potatoes or whatever that could come together. I started being more aware in wanting to be a provider as a man, but it also did affect me in terms of groove. I think I drank a lot after my dad died. I drank a lot. I became a rebellious child. I became a rebellious child. I wouldn't want my kid to do that. I wouldn't want my kid to do that. You know, as a alken, you know, it's so funny. The other time we would group with my friends and my mom keeps calling me midnight. I'm like, Master, say alken, there's traffic, it's midnight. Come on.
Oh,
come on, it's midnight, bro. You know, shame by that lady. But she's worked hard to raise me up and my siblings, and she's done a great job. I think that's
sure.
Yeah.
And that's why you are here, where you are right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. My life hasn't worked out, not even a little bit, the way that I thought it would. You know, I'm not the kid that finished school and went to varsity. I couldn't qualify for varsity even, you know.
Yeah, actually, can you please tell us more about that story? Because guys, it's such an interesting story.
It's so crazy right now because we're leading people who are at university.
Yeah.
So my life has been filled with mercy and grace, and God has been really curating it the way He wants. You know? So after I was drinking a lot, I failed school the following year because my mom would tell me, "Ukuthi akuphasi konke." Hayi bonjalo. Akuphasi konke. Then I would leave for Groove on Friday, come back at home on Monday morning, and I'm wasted, and I'm trying my best to hide it, you know. And it was not it. Then I failed school. Then I tried to mend my life again. So that's when I stopped alcohol, actually, when I failed grade 11. You know, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And then grade 12 was an interesting era. I think what you need to understand about the school that I went to, not a lot of people would succeed in it, because the type of people that would go into that school were the people that had been rejected by other schools because of being naughty, because the students are coming from prison, juvenile, and it's the naughty ones, you know. And I was not in the top 50 students that could have possibly passed. And unashamedly, but I was chilled about that. You know, it's like, I've arrived, I'm a tricky, right.
That's all you want.
I was like,
that's how far I get.
This is how far I've gotten. I'm Wapatama awards. I always help my sister carry her own awards. But I'm chilled, I'm okay, you know. And then, oh my Lord. And then I started liking church girls.
Oh, we'll drink to that one.
I started liking church girls. Then I started going to Ama revivals. Remember when NJ's told was still having my revivals? It is.
Yeah.
You know. So I would go there with another agenda. Those people were praying. Because I would end up saying, "Yes, Lord, I need you."
Salvation call, you always say.
You know, even though I wasn't understanding what I was doing, but I think there was an element of that. You know, I would never accomplish my mission of finding girls in church. You know, it would just be a different environment, even though I didn't understand what those guys were doing. And the questions about school, no?
Yes.
We are about 120 in my matric year. And firstly, I I was shocked that I passed. You know?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people passed that year?
How many people?
Oh my Lord. Out of 120 people, 6 people passed. You know what even shocked me? My name was there.
It can only
Yo,
be God.
it's shocking even today that my name was there, was amongst those. Because let me tell you, this is not how you're supposed to do school. But I failed all the terms.
And only pass on 4th term.
Yeah, that was what I was fighting for all these years. Even though I was it's like that, that is the report that the parent is gonna see, man. You can hide others. You can make excuses for others, but the 4th term, hey, yo guys. But anyways, when I finished, when I was writing my final matric paper, my mom gave me 5 rand. She said, "This is the last money you'll ever receive from me. Hey, I've done my job, and now you go and fend for yourself. So now this means I'll not get a roll on from home. I'll not get soap from home. I'll not get stuff from home. I need to go and hustle." And then I got my first job a week later, and I used to work at a construction company. I hated it.
Sure.
At 11 a.m. I wanted to leave. It was bad, guys. It was bad. But I never stopped hustling and looking for work. And fortunately, I had been exposed to a community theater group. So I would explore the world of acting a little bit. Quickly discovered that I'm not a great actor, but I can see potential in other people and bring the calling out of them and teach them and educate them into the acting space. So I took part in local community theater activities. Actually, the first show that I directed, one in Pietermaritzburg, one in KZN, so it was top 3 in KZN, and we traveled to Johannesburg. And that was the first show that
Would you look at that
I wrote and directed. In fact, even the way that thing happened is crazy, because in that time I realized that my brain doesn't just think of words, but my brain sees actions. So if you are saying a specific word, I see it in images, I see it in video, so I see it in motion. So as I write something, I already know the type of character that I need to fill that space. Then now the challenge comes to how do I develop that character, and all I need is a willing heart, and that's how we kind of got into the acting world.
Look at you, from not knowing English to directing, and your team winning awards and stuff like that, and going to Joburg. And I know, like, you are one person that really does not look at a person how they are, but actually you look at a person of, like, actually, when you could be a great person, actually you are a great person, despite the fact that maybe somebody else might not see themselves as that. And how has that shaped you as a person, where it's like, you know where you come from, you know your foundation now, and how has that shaped you, empowering those around you?
I believe that people can do better, even when people can disappoint you. I believe that when I speak words of encouragement to you, you are going to walk into those words one day. And you are going to realize the greatest potential that you have. And it's tough when you are a leader and you see potential in someone and they don't see it. There's been so many times when I would speak words of life to someone for years and it doesn't click. But when it does, something magical starts to happen in the inside of them, and we cannot afford not to believe that people can do better. We cannot afford not to encourage people. everybody needs an encouragement. Not like even the richest people, words of encouragement, are needed. I was even thinking that who blesses wealthy people? They can afford flowers or chocolates or whatever, but it means something when another human being comes and blesses them and speak words of life towards them. So we need as leaders and as people to believe better about people more than what they think of themselves. So this is how it started for me. I was at church and there was a guy who asked me to hold a camera. Hence today we doing podcasting, right? He just asked me to hold a tripod, and I did a bad job. But afterwards, he came in and encouraged me, bro. He was like, "Well done! This is amazing. This was incredible." And I was just following the preacher around. But it was a bad job because the camera was out of focus. But the fact that he came and encouraged me and said, "You did a good job," I saw that. I wondered, what did he see in me that I couldn't see in myself? You understand? And being in community of believers, being in community of people that believe what God has called you to be, more than what you see in yourself, is very helpful and encouraging. So I like gathering people, and I must admit that I'm not an expert in everything. That's why we need team. I am not threatened by people who are doing better than me. I actually, Tuani, ngiyathokoza when you're doing better than me. You see, you're the boss of social media. This guy is a boss of building websites. Lindo is technical. Darlington is technical. So building a team, and understanding that you give people a vision, say, this is where we're going. I believe that we can do better, because alone you can go far, but together we can go further. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I do. This episode is sponsored by A46 Tech, our company that helps people gather the tech to build their own studios, and we help people build their own studios with our technical team. But even if you do not have the equipment, we come to you and we can shoot your podcast in your own space, in your own home, in your own company. So connect with us. In the description below, there is a link for you to connect with us. Would love to meet with you. Now let's get back to the episode.
That's so good. That's actually a nice punchline. Okay, we see you dropping balls on us.
Punchline. Thank you.
I mean, like you've mentioned that you have touched on like directing and film and acting and all of that, and I feel like you have touched on even more spaces and platforms. But I actually wanted to know, what is the most that you're passionate about?
I'm passionate about Jesus.
So when you just expand more on that, what just gives you that drive? Like, keep going.
What gives me the drive is knowing that I'm known by God. And if I don't spend time with God in the mornings, I will feel empty for the rest of the day. I will have no purpose. I will have no direction. I will have no clarity. I will have no creativity. You understand? And I learned this thing, that the most important thing that you can ever do in your life is to spend time with God. And you gotta fight for it. You gotta contend for it. You gotta wrestle for it, and because it's easily to it's easily to be functional than to be relational. But God didn't design us to be functional first. He designed us to be relational. I'll make an example. I was leading a team, a kids ministry team that I don't know how we got into that space. Anyways, it was a team of 30. I wasn't an expert. I didn't know anything about leading kids ministry. When I arrived, maybe like 26 people left. And one thing that I was told when the previous leader introduced me to the team, he said, raise leaders. I was like, raising leaders.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Just tell people to come and join the team. Done. And to me, I did it wrong. You need to understand, I did it wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't care if you had encountered the Lord or not. I was just like, every Sunday I'm going to go out, I'm going to recruit, I'm going to tell people that you need to come and tell kids about the Lord, And my team grew to the 30, but I was losing people in as much as I was receiving people on my team. So people would spend 2-3 weeks on my team and then they would leave. And that used to bother me a lot, because when we would come to meetings, I would come to a meeting and be operational and say, okay, what's the game plan? Who's doing worship? Who's doing this curriculum? Who's doing the small group? Who's doing A, B, C, and D? Who's doing registration? It's very operational and less functional, and less relational, And so I was losing people. So remember, you're fighting to spend time with the Lord. And after 12 months, as I was spending time with the Lord, I just had this realization that Jesus spent time with his disciples before he released them.
Yeah.
That set me free. Jesus was hanging out with these guys.
Yeah.
Before he released them, say, go out, cast out demons, tell the people about the gospel. Yeah. But it was a lifestyle. Remember the first miracle that happened that Jesus did. He turned water into wine, but who was with him? Right? Now, then he took them to the next phase. When there was 5 loaves and 2 fish, he's training them, he's equipping them. But it's also it's a relational thing more than it's a functional thing. So fortunately, at that time, I was reading a book called The 5 Love Languages. I'm a tea guy. Let's have coffee. This English thing.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you're gonna drink water, hey, we need to have coffee, but come on. Yeah. But anyways, I'm kind of wired. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a heart-to-heart type of situation. Yeah. Let me get into your world. But the 5 love languages taught me that people receive love differently. People receive love differently, and I saw it practical on my team. I happened to be in a soccer field. The other time I was actually going to deliver a car, and it so happened that my team guys were in the field and they were playing. Now, I'm not too much in soccer, and when the meeting came, these guys wanted to say something. Can you please say something? I was like, for sure. We would like to thank our leader, Puntlaga, who was there for us as we were playing football today. It felt so special. I was just like, I was not there for you, dudes.
Sure.
I wasn't there for them. But they felt so represented and loved because I kind of like spoke their love language, being there when they are being functional and when they are being operational. So what I learned from there is that you need to learn to study people and see how people receive love and love them accordingly. And then build teams. You need to learn to build teams and allocate and delegate things. That is what keeps me grounded. There was a time when it was bad. There was a time when it was horrible. There was a time when I was very functional and operational. So I would sleep late and wake up very early in the morning, and my time with the Lord was non-existent. It looked existent because you kind of like know the verses now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was a very difficult time for me to be in. And so what I did, it was funny because it would be a time when I'll say, I'm praying, Lord, hey, I'm bathing.
Yeah.
You know this one. I'm bathing. Hey, as I'm eating, hey, Lord, you see, hey, life, time. But Jesus was never in a hurry.
Sure.
Is there a verse that says Jesus was running?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And then Jesus rushed.
Yeah.
You know, you can argue and say he was skating, surfing on water. You know, so you know you walked on water.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in that, in those moments, I said, let me switch off my phone. Let me stop everything. I'm just gonna spend time with God for 5 minutes, and everything made sense. And then I built from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 10 to 15. And then I realized that I'm not an indoor guy. I need to walk. So when I'm walking, it's a crazy thing because I would come across people in the township like, hey, Jesus, I'm like, I'm cold. Oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm praying. They don't believe me because there's the traditional way of praying, I guess,
Yes.
you know. But for me, processing things and making big decisions about my life is that they really come from a place of prayer.
Sure. But that is really good. You're one person that is very passionate about people and seeing people being empowered and just, getting to where they want to be. And then another question I would want to ask, I mean, I call you popcorn mind because your mind is literally like popcorn. And I wanted to know, like, how does that affect your leadership? Just you in being in leadership all over these years, how has that affected your leadership?
My popcorn mind.
Yes, you just thinking so many ideas at the same time, and people are not even there, and you're already there. So yeah.
Popcorn mind is frustrating to organized people. But I've learned that because I'm not organized, I work well with organized people. So, I mean, I get excited about an idea.
Yeah.
I have a vision of the idea. I know how the idea is going to be executed. I know the details of it, not super details. Then I'm like, who can I bring who has an administrative mind, who can take over this project that I can bring close to me? Because what's going to happen is that as I'm excited about this one, as we're going and as we're pushing it, then my mind pops again. Then I'm thinking about something different.
Yeah.
But we still need that goal to still be executed in an excellent way.
Yeah.
So that is when team matters a lot. What teams are we building? You can consult me if you need to make a massive change, but you need to feel free. I mean, I believe good, as long as you have my heart, you will do something that is in sync with my heart. This guy makes a lot of decisions that I don't know about. He just knows what I'm in agreement with, even if he hasn't told me those things. But so what makes my mind work proper is because I'm very relational. So you hold tight relationally, and you loosen people functionally, and you allow people to function and be creative in their own way and in their own will. And you need to keep the main thing. The main thing is Jesus. Keep Jesus at the center of it, and then keep the relationship of the team together and the vision of the team together, and then let people function, let people operate, let people fail fast, and we can create systems. We can create systems that we can move with, and So my mind just works like.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And I believe in not walking alone. I believe in community. I believe that you're not designed to live in isolation. You're designed to live in community. Nobody has ever been created to be an island. You know, if you look at the personality of God, it's God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and they play different roles, you know. And so it helps. My popcorn mind has its pros and its cons. But it's important that whatever I think needs to be communicated as fast as possible, so that we can experience, is this thing going to work or is it not going to work? One of the things that I'm learning these days from the many people that I interview is, you need to learn to fail fast. You know, you need to implement and fail fast if needs be. You need to partner with the right people. Sometimes you will partner with the wrong people. Sometimes people will disappoint you. Sometimes people will burn you. Sometimes people will blame you. Sometimes people will drop the ball. But the way I deal with such situations, first of all, I go and pray, because I always lean towards what have I done wrong for this person to react this way. But we cannot afford to give up on other people, because other people before them have dropped the ball. So it has to do with a lot of forgiving and knowing that even if a person doesn't realize what they've done right now, they might later, and time will tell. I mean, like, there's been people who've left a team that I've led, and I was to blame, right? 2 or 3 years later, they come back, they say they were wrong. And I didn't argue that, you know. But you need to be kind enough to people and say, let's make fast decisions, and let's fail fast, but let's build teams around it. So that's why I kind of function well with you, because you are systems people. You are a person, Jesus. That's organization, right? Because you like systems, you like order. In as much as I like order, I like to dream. I like to think about what could it be. I like to try. I don't like to maintain things as they are. You know, the heart of maintenance is the heart that kills creativity, and that you will never be innovative. You know, you will always be threatened by new innovations if you like to maintain a lot.
I mean, like, I'm sure there are so many different people that also have popcorn minds, where it's like you have big dreams, you have such incredible ideas, and sometimes you could feel intimidated by your own ideas and by your own dreams. And how have you learned to navigate that? I mean, you are a pastor and you lead a site, and you also are, I mean, a part of this podcast, and you basically created this podcast for us. And sometimes I could sit with you and I'd be like, hey, Clara, and then you're like, this idea, and me as a person, I'll be like, okay, it's too many ideas. Can you like kind of slow it down a little bit? But that's literally just who you are. And now the question is basically, how have you navigate that mindset through it all? I mean, you have just explained that actually, you know what, if you have that mindset or that brain, you need to learn how to work with people and do this and do that and do this and do that. But negatively, what are some of the challenges that you faced just having a popcorn mind where everyone else is not getting where you are?
But that's the struggle for every visionary. That's the struggle for every pioneer. That there will be people who do not understand what you see. And I was thinking about this thing because as we are building studios for people, doing mobile podcasting, on all those things, people will start believing in what we're doing when they see us doing it. And no one is going to believe in your dream more than you are.
Yeah, it's so true.
You know, and no one is going to be more committed to what you said you're going to be committed to more than you are. You know, and I find one of the things that is very helpful for me is working out. even when things are not working out.
Sure.
Right. What was the question again?
What are some of the challenges, or can you just please list the challenges that you faced with people not understanding or not getting where you are just because of the person that you are, with brilliant ideas and fresh ideas all the time? So how do you deal with people like that, where it's like, guys, you just don't get me, I have so many ideas.
The thing is, I'm optimistic about life, I'm not a pessimistic guy. And I did wonder one day, why do I have so many ideas? Now you can come and I'll tell you a business idea that I'll never execute, and that is designed to be executed by somebody else. I'll tell you the vision, I'll tell you the strategy, then I'll tell you how you can go and do it and implement it and win and get the market and be rich as much as you like. But one of the things that I've settled in my heart is that not all the ideas that I have are mine.
That's so good. Can you please say that again? Look at the camera, because
Not all the ideas that I get or that I have are designed for me and that are mine. Some are just for other people to be empowered. I see a problem. I kind of think, how can one creatively add value, to people, and then I freely share the ideas. I've shared ideas on how you can have a mobile salon, I've shared ideas on how you can create apps, on how you can run websites, of how you can do what you say, not housekeeping,
which one? House sitting.
Which how you can take that into the next level, of how you can get into cybersecurity. It's stuff that I don't have the energy to get in to execute. And also it's important to understand your season as a leader. You need to learn what this is the stuff that I've got energy for, and when you commit to something, you need to commit to it 100%. And you can give the idea and say, invite me for perspective. I'll always give perspective. But there was actually a business training that I was part of that I benefited a lot from, where there's a gentleman called Jeremy Diedrichs. Amazing, incredible person. He would just gather guys around, especially from varsity, and speak live in terms of business, And actually, this was the first time I'm seeing someone who was extracting business principles from the word. Each and every business pillar that he has in his business is from the word, and that was mind blowing. So he would bring different entrepreneurs who were executing on their dreams and stuff like that. But I would still have questions as well, And another thing that one needs to do as a leader is you need to read. Reading sharpens your thinking. Leaders are readers. It doesn't matter how you read. Other people can consume words easier. Other people can consume documentaries easier. Other people can learn from movies, but you need to come on. So you need to read. So find time to spend time with the Lord, learn to read, learn to document. It's amazing that today we get to read the Bible because there were people who decided to document the content that we get to read today. So what are you documenting that's happening in your life? And people were documenting even ugly stuff, uncomfortable stuff. You understand? And then you see people going through it and having victory on the other side. So learn to document. And even if you're a content creator, don't really fight to create fight to document the moments,
Yeah.
because when you document, you have more content and it's more authentic and it's more real. And people would rather connect with leaders that are always real than the ones that are always right.
Yeah.
That's Craig Rochelle. That's not me.
That is so good. Now, if you have an advice, I would love for you to give an advice actually to just empower our youth, because I think a lot of us are stuck into I have to get it right, I have to, or just like in terms of ideas where it's like, okay, I feel like this idea is mine and I have to execute it. And honestly speaking, not everyone's going to be a CEO. Some person just needs to share ideas and then we can execute them. So can you please just share or give advice to anyone in our youth that is wanting to be empowered, but they're just struggling, they're like staying stagnant, like no, it's okay, I just have ideas but I don't know what to do with it. And I think you already shared some great insights on how to work with people if you have such a mindset where it's like, okay, you are full of ideas but you don't know how to do it. Now I want you to advise a person that is really just struggling to get out there and put themselves out there.
Okay. The fall of man is one thing. Pride. One thing is going to take you far and further. That's called humility.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may have, life is like a ladder, if I may put it like that. In order for you to get to a certain phase, you need to step on a certain step. It's not all of us that are going to finish school, then go to varsity straight, then from varsity get the job that we want, then from getting the job that we want, we get the husband that we want. That's Hollywood, actually. Then we get the kids that we want, then we get the house that we want, and it so happens as systematic as you've thought it would. Sometimes it requires you to be humble and start at the place where you're working with rubble the whole day and you getting paid peanuts. And as long as you're a person with a vision, you're gonna get somewhere. Sometimes it takes you to push a trolley and be ridiculed by your peers because they do not know your pain and your struggle. When people don't understand your pain, they will never understand your praise. But when you're going through the process, it's never comfortable. But when you're on the other side, people like to celebrate the victories and not understanding the process that takes you towards the victory. And I would generally just say you do not start from where you hope to be. You start from where you are. And that is why we started this podcast. How it started is that I had a dream to start a podcast to learn about leadership, to empower people about leadership. And I had the great idea in 2020. Oh, when was it? In 2022, I had a great idea. I had a studio in my mind. I had the great team in my mind. And I had gear, I had everything that I needed. But I'll just be honest with you and tell you how this has happened. I said I'm going to start January 2023. It never happened until 10 months later. I realized that the year is finishing and I'm not where I thought I would be. And I was like, then I had a revelation, to be honest, that says you do not start from where you hope to be, you start from where you are. Then I said, what am I going to do with what I'm thinking? I have a home, I have access to a sitting room. So I'm going to remove a couch and put that one camera there and put a phone here and start asking people questions, because what matters right now is the value that the other person who's on the other side of the screen is going to get. So you don't start from where you hope to be, you start from where you are. Then I had another one that says a seed remains a seed until it's planted. A dream remains a dream until it's acted upon. Right? So you do not start perfect. Nobody starts perfect. You start from where you are. What are some of the opportunities that you're neglecting right now? What are some of the opportunities that you see on the internet today? What do you see? Learn something, empower yourself, and then partner up with people. It's not everyone who's out there to get you.
Yeah.
It's not everyone who's out there to get your millions and stuff like that. Let's build together. Let us partner together. If you look at how many shares that Bill Gates owns at Microsoft, it's not so many shares, but he has partnered with people to make a multi-billion-dollar company. If you look at Amazon, you see what Jeff Bezos doesn't have a lot of shares in the company, but he has partnered up with people to make his dream come true. So partnering with people shouldn't threaten you. Why are we insecure about partnering with people? You know what kills us is not being clear from the beginning of what are we in for.
Sure, that's good.
We need that info for your own info.
You just had to do it.
Yeah, like insecurities, they kill us a lot, and we need to have this brutal conversation from the beginning. Eti, what do we do when money comes in? Because this is the very reason that you see, the very thing that you see with an artist. Then they say all of a sudden this producer has robbed me because they didn't sign things from the beginning as I was starting the agreement. Secondly, volunteering doesn't kill anyone, but it empowers you. It upskills you. I've volunteered giving old grannies bread. Actually, your granny was one of those mamas. In Lokshini, once a week, 3 times a week, would go there and to this community care center and serve old people bread. There was a time when municipality was striking, and we decided we're gonna organize our own truck and we're gonna pick up rubbish in the township. That's not a comfortable thing, but we did. You understand? I've worked at a job where when I receive a salary, I'm going to pay my tithe and I'm going to buy a grocery at home. Then I'll be out of finances, and then I'll walk from home to town monthly, like for straight 2 years. That was my life. If I would spoil myself at the end of the month, I would spend 5 rand to buy just an ice cream. Or Castillas.
Sure.
You understand? So it doesn't kill to volunteer. You need to take yourself out there, and you need to believe that God has created you for a greater purpose. Do you understand? And one of the key principles I have learned in my life is the principle of finance. Do you want me to dive deep into it?
Yes, please.
Right. This thing of investing, this thing of saving, I learned that it's not about the amount, but it's about the principle of saving and investing.
Yeah.
You understand? And one of the failures that we have in society right now is to think, I'm going to start investing when I earn X amount of money. Let me tell you, I started investing 100 rand per month, but having 3 accounts, then you split. You understand? And I'm not as disciplined as other guys. I do not store money in my own bank account because it's easy access for me, and it's a matter of principle. And I believe, God, I will not stay in the same position that I am in today, and my God is too faithful for that. But I need to learn these principles, these fundamentals when I have little, so that when I have millions and billions, I still have those principles in place.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I think you have shared such great insights, and you have inspired me. You have really pushed me to be the kind of person that I am right now. And
you're amazing.
Thank you. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that you have really just saw the vision and you kept on being on our side. And I think that's one of the good leadership skills that you have, where it's like you are very consistent, you are intentional in all that you do. And I think you've already mentioned that You're very relational, which makes you the better leader and the good leader that you are right now. Well, thank you so much for joining our podcast and tuning in. If you were watching, please go back and take some notes, because this was a really good episode where we got inspired, empowered, and elevated as well to keep on doing more. And if you're sitting at home still wondering what to do with your life, just do it. Like Nike always do it, you can also do it. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you guys next time. Bye.